Yoga lowers blood fat and blood sugar. High. When the ratio of fat and sugar components in the blood is too high, reaching a certain threshold will lead the body to many often dangerous or even extremely dangerous medical conditions that directly threaten the patient's life, such as stroke, myocardium, etc. Here is a little yoga exercise, consisting of some simple and easy-to-follow classic yoga poses, which can help you reduce fat and blood sugar very effectively and safely. Please note that this exercise is not for people with a herniated disc, especially a herniated cervical disc. Now, if you are ready, I invite you to practice with me. Execution. Before going to practice, you should meditate in the diamond pose like this for a few minutes. Here I will meditate with you like this for 1 minute. Meditation is very important. It will help you enter other postures smoothly and the training will be more qualitative and effective. Now lie on the floor with me. The safest way is to lean sideways like this. We will perform the pose with each leg raised, facing the ceiling like this, 30 seconds for each leg. 30 seconds. Note that the legs are stretched towards the ceiling while relaxing your waist on the ground while maintaining the posture of the legs like this. You need to do 2 very important things. First, you should always breathe from the lower abdomen in 4 phases, it's the best. Second, you also need to maintain a mass of air in your lower abdomen at all times. It's like you need to breathe at the same time as lifting something that was above your belly. After 30 seconds for this leg, you switch to do the same for the other leg, also in 30 seconds. Formally, this starting posture will probably be very simple for many people. However, to get the posture really right, there is definitely a lot of work to be done. You can now feel the internal organs of your abdomen. You are also under heavy pressure from your abdomen and they move with your breath. Now we will straighten both legs vertically. The time to maintain the posture is also 30 seconds. Make sure that the whole back and waist are glued to the floor. And legs stretched up to the ceiling like that. Breathe into the lower abdomen and compress the air into the lower abdomen, maintaining the energy and strength of the center. Now we are going to put our hands under our buttocks. Then 2 hands support the movement of the abdominal muscles, back muscles, etc. to raise the buttocks high. At the same time, both feet move forward. Legs straight, back straight, they form an inclined V like this. This is the inverted leg pose. The center of gravity of the body is mainly located on the shoulders. Hands and head help maintain a stable posture. Always breathe through your lower abdomen. Now let's slowly raise our butts even higher. You will feel that more and more body weight is shifted towards the head, so each time our head and neck have to work harder. At the same time, you may also find it harder to breathe. Therefore, you should also practice at this stage very slowly. Don't raise your butt too high if you're having trouble breathing. Indeed, in this position, the practitioner must exercise a lot of muscles in the neck to prevent the throat from flexing to the point of blocking the airways. So we definitely need time to practice to be able to have this ability. On the other hand, if you are already able to practice shoulder stand pose or plow pose to do these poses easily, you should also practice it very slowly like this, if you have a healing goal. The goal is specifically here is to reduce blood fat and blood sugar. Moreover, I would also like to add that practicing this exercise can also cure some cases of insomnia, especially in case of insomnia due to disorders of cerebral blood circulation. Thus, in all cases of healing training, one should practice the poses slowly, even very slowly in many cases. Now both hands support the buttocks to come out of the posture slowly and safely like this. We rest like that for a while. Then continue repeating the sequence of exercises as above, but it will be a little more difficult. First, we also have about 30 seconds for a legs up the wall pose like this. Then, hands supporting the buttocks. And, we have 2 minutes to raise the buttocks sequentially. We stay at this level for a while. I want to emphasize, the key to healing here is to breathe through your lower abdomen. In this pose, the internal organs of the abdomen will tend to droop and press against the diaphragm. Ventral breathing by the abdominal muscles will transform our belly into a big pump, change in volume, and therefore, in addition to mobilizing the lungs for gas exchange, but it also makes the organs of the abdomen work, in particular the liver, the intestines, the stomach, spleen, etc. are also active and strongly stimulated in an inverted position as opposed to the usual standing poses. Now let's continue to raise our buttocks as high as possible. The back becomes vertical and the legs are completely tilted towards the head. At this time, the body's gravity is actually concentrated more on the neck and head. Some of you, if in this position, will feel short of breath and tense in your neck and head. Pay attention to tighten the neck muscles to support the airways and the throat are not fold, obstructing the breathing process, which should always be normal. Please focus your attention on your abdomen with conscious respiratory processes. Imagine the movement of internal organs such as the liver, intestines, stomach, spleen, etc., and it would be nice if you felt that the organs were unglued rather than making a mass, forming a block inside. In fact, many people have had too much abdominal fat which turned the whole abdomen into a big motionless mass, hard to move. Now, in seconds, if you have the ability, try lowering your legs and touch your toes to the ground for a moment. Then we get out of here. Also use both hands to support the buttocks to slowly lie down on the floor like this. We lie down like this for about 30 seconds. Now let's do the above exercise for the third time. Also in 2 minutes. We also start in a moment with the legs up the wall pose. Then switch continuously to the inverted lake poses. At this point, our head and neck can be quite comfortable and breathing is still relatively easy. Now let's keep raising our butts as high as we can. The back becomes vertical and the legs are fully tilted towards the head. Then, in about 10 seconds if you can, we touch the ground with our toes like that. This is the plow pose, and try to relax your body in this posture. Here, your head and neck are probably working the hardest, while trying to maintain posture and ensure the airway through your throat is normal. Then we also came out of the pose in the same way the previous 2 times and lay down on the floor like this for a while. Come on, please sit down, and the correct way to sit is to lean to the side like that. We will continue to rest in child's pose. You can rest your forehead on the floor with your arms stretched out in front of you, or rest your chin on your forearm, or rest your forehead on your forearm like this. Please stretch your back forward and let the back fall freely, comfortably relaxed. You stay like this for a few minutes or more if you wish. And then to finish your practice with the diamond pose for a few minutes. Good training. Quickly control your blood fat and blood sugar. Thank you, goodbye and see you soon.